Voting has not always been a right. A student should have an historical awareness of the right to vote. The right of suffrage is governed by federal, state, and local laws. As citizens, voting is a right and a responsibility that has been limited. Historically, governments have legally restricted voting rights for a variety of reasons. In this lesson, the student will explore and document the progression of one or more laws that affect the voting rights of the people in his or her community. The student will apply the denial of voting rights to the modern-day demographics in their community. The student will analyze what recently passed laws might have had different outcomes if historical voting policies had been in place. The student will use technology to develop their ideas. In this case, we will use Inspiration software to flesh out our ideas and research. Inspiration is an idea mapping software that provides internal resources to support the student in their research and development of topics. Inspiration is a user-friendly software that can be accessed by going to the web. Let's look at what Inspiration can do. In this case, I have developed an Inspiration mind map for our topic, suffrage and the right to vote.
We're just going to keep
You will
generating
see here that it
ideas.
starts with an idea, which is suffrage, and is developed into the right to vote and who and the people that are impacted. So all of this comes from this single idea. And then we go to the other side where we begin to look at the individual and all of the ramifications of that individual's vote. So as we develop our ideas, you can see that it can be quite colorful and creative, and therefore a good learning experience for a student. As introduction, the instructor will lead the class discussion on the history of voting rights. The student will select from a pre-selected topical group, which we have already seen, and the student will participate in a class tutorial on the use of Inspiration software. Students will develop an Inspiration mind mapping page that explores their selected group on 3 levels: the law, the impacted groups, the implication to modern laws. Students will make a class presentation and discuss as a group. The class will combine their collective works into a unified project. There are advantages to this project. The student makes an historical study to connect with current events. The student develops skills in the use of technology to visualize and organize their thoughts on the topic. And it also encourages the development of research skills. Now, there are a number of types of instructional strategies that are included in this project: direct instruction, indirect instruction, interactive instruction, experiential learning, and independent learning. And all of this is included as the instructor introduces the students to the topic. The students develop their research by using the Inspiration map. They interact with their fellow students by making their presentations and responding to questions. And they experience their thought processes as a result of these discussions. And they get the independent learning experience of using the Inspiration software tool. The possibilities of this innovation and how it can be transferred can be summed up in that the student can use the analytical skills developed through the use of Inspiration and this project to assist in the completion of other research in other courses of study. We will take this a little bit further on the next part of our project by looking at the technological connection of the RSS feed.